my mic and all that stuff before we get on to this, because but I did not have all that messed up by the time I tried to do this. Okay. Just need to share this to people and then we can get going and get on the start. So I'm trying to promote this in places one more, and then we can actually get on to the start of this. Turn up this. Mic check. Turn up this. Good, 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 good. When you think of special tracks, you think of Indy, you think of Daytona, you think of Nürburgring. But there's one that tops all of them, and that is Le Mans. Welcome to the 1 hour Le Mans for the second running, and I will be your host. And right around a half an hour time, right around an hour and a half time, the winner will be standing up there, and just below it will be where all the magic happens. I will be virtually standing right there as we get ready to bring you the second annual 1 hour Le Mans. Now, it is only 1 hour, but however, there is a 24-hour cycle in the game, so you will see you'll see night racing, you'll see day racing. It will start at 7 a.m. time, and then go all the way back to 7 a.m. time. It is looking like a nice, sunny, summer day, and oh man, are we ready for this second annual 1 hour of Le Mans. I am your host, Aiden Johnson, or known as Small Nascar Fan. I will be bringing you full coverage of this whole race and the qualifying that comes into it before the race. That's why I said in hour and a half time, because we still have about 15 minutes of qualifying, and it's not exact, and it'll probably take a little bit more, so round up, boom, there. Obviously, this track is very, very long. I have a list of the corner names, so we can always keep up with that. But it should be a fun one. I am excited, and so should you guys be. If you guys have anything booked or anything to do until 10 p.m., cancel it. This is where you're going to be for the next about hour or so, hour 15 minutes. Stay right here. You don't want to miss a second of it. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be so much fun, and I'm here to cover all of it. We have LMP2s racing, we have GT3s, well, GTEs racing. Two different classes. There's a lot of LMP2s, not much GTEs, but there are a couple. So, we'll see. We'll keep up with those two races as we go on. 3 cars with damage for a safety car. Safety cars are going to be something big. Again, it's a complete reset when we get safety cars. We had a great battle here last season, though, with Jake and Julian. Will Julian get it? Jake, I don't even think he's in the race. I haven't seen him yet. He might be. Who knows? Should be very interesting. Who's going to get it done? Those are all the questions we are going to have to figure out. Now, we're ready. As everything is up to speed, we're ready for the race. Now, I will see if we can... good. Hold on. Alright. Now we're loading into the lobby, so give me a second, and we'll be in there, and we're getting ready to go racing. I'm excited, and so is the whole country of France. For a weekend, France gets to see their glory in racing. France gets to see everything they wanted in racing. They get to be the center stage of motorsports for 1 week, and today, that's what's going to happen. But today, it's only going to be for an hour and a half, so enjoy it while you can, France. Because, oh man, are we going to have a lot of fun. I'm ready. So are you. Make sure you have your popcorn. Make sure you have anything you need for this race. We'll be hopping into qualifying just in a minute. Now, I'm going to go join the party, go in the voice chat, and we'll be ready. Hold on. Yes. Alright. There we go. Now, as I join the party and get into game chat and all that stuff, we should be good. Just gonna be like quiet for a second. Probably try to game chat there. Alright, there we go. Welcome and get ready. We're loading in to the race. We're loading in this long 38 turn track, one of the longest in the world, 8.5 miles. That is how long this track is. Way longer than tracks like Indy, way longer than tracks like Daytona, but not longer than Nürburgring. But it probably is the most prestigious race in the world, right up next to the Indy 500. We saw our own version of the Indy 500 a couple weeks ago when we did go there in May. Now we have our version of Le Mans just about 3 weeks later. So get ready. I keep repeating this, but it's definitely gonna be fun. I'm excited. Everything is going to be very interesting, and it will be, there'll be so much to cover and look at. Now, let's get all this stuff in. We have we have people joining and whatever is happening over there. We have, I'm trying to scroll through all this, but it looks like Dirt is on track. Also, so is Wumbo. Wumbo was in Indy, did not necessarily go that successful for him, but he was there. Obviously, we are excited. Logan out in the GTE, and Dirt in LMP2. Let's see here. Chances in the GTE. Hendrick in a LMP2. Hines is in a LMP2. I already went to Dirt. Logan. Wumbo is in a LMP2, and so is Julian. Julian having a little troubles right now, getting everywhere. Don't know what's exactly happening. He just reset to his box. Looks like, who was that? Dirt was having, don't know if he was having an issue or just weaving, but who knows? We'll figure that out. I need to grab myself a chair because I don't want to be standing for this whole next hour. Sorry for the silence, just grabbing all my stuff and making sure I have everything prepped and ready. Again, I will be the only voice you hear for the next hour, so find a way to enjoy it. I might be annoying at times, but I also could potentially be good. I don't know. We'll see. I also need to see the time better. We just hit under 13 minutes left in qualifying. Obviously, a long lap here, around 3.5 minutes, if I'm correct, for an LMP2 car, let alone a GTE. So, not many laps you can get in. Josh clabbers the wall there. Not the best. However, let's go and kind of look through. Rumbo looks like he's the farthest ahead out of everyone. He obviously warming the tires up. You weave to warm the tires up and clean them off too. Don't want anything don't want anything bad on them. So yeah, I have a list of all the corner names, and that as we went just through Mulsanne. Now we go up into, as we go past all the trees, all the greenery, jeez. We will go into Indianapolis up ahead. It's a little ways up ahead, but Indianapolis is a very interesting corner. It's very tough because it looks easy, but you need to really get on the brakes hard, but not slide. And especially when you're side by side, you can easily wash up into the guy on your outside. Wumbo kind of misses Indianapolis there as he goes into Arnage. Now, a little bit of wheel spin out of Arnage. Now he goes up into more of the track, obviously, as we get to the S's part now, as we're about to start Sector 3. Well, not S's, but the Porsche Curves is up next. That's going to be a lot of the zig and zagging we see in this final sector. That's mostly what it is. Just a bunch of zigging and zagging. And definitely this corner also, the first Porsche curve is very, very tough when you're side by side. When you're by yourself, as long as you take it somewhat cautious, you should be fine. Just again, it's gonna be really tough to be picture perfect for an hour straight on 38 different corners, but that's how it is. That's why this race is so prestigious in real life, and that's why this track is so intimidating as we go through the Ford chicane. And up to the front straightaway into the Dunlop curve, which is kind of turn 1, and then we go into the Dunlop chicane. Obviously, Wumbo starting his first lap. You see on the right side there, where it says third or 3 and all that stuff under the track map. That is the telemetry and the gears and all that stuff. The fuel is on there too. So everything you really need to know is all right there. So you can see here he lifts. He doesn't even use the brakes. Doesn't even think about the brakes. Probably could have ran that a little more harder, but didn't even think about hitting the brakes. Just kind of a little lift, get back in the gas as he goes through the Mulsanne Straight. And into Daytona, that is the first of 2 backstretch chicanes. They're very, very interesting. Can catch you off guard. These are probably the two toughest parts of the track. Well, this is probably the toughest part in general. Right here through Daytona, we go up. That one's Daytona's a little fine. It can catch you out, especially when you're side by side. It can be very sketchy, but moves will be made there. If there's going to be passing zone, it's going to be in Daytona. It's going to be into the second chicane. So, how is that going to work? How is that going to play out? We don't know. Again, under braking, if you don't really have anti-lock brakes on, you can slide into these corners and potentially spin. The traction, not the best. The curbs are deadly. You have to keep all this stuff in mind. Well, you're trying to run as fast as possibly on the edge. It is so tough to even just run one lap around here, let alone running multiple for an hour straight. So we won't see many necessarily laps here, but we will see action. We will see a lot of endurance. Again, it's an hour straight that you're going to be racing. You will have a couple breaks for safety cars, but even that, then it doesn't give you a full break. You get to a tiny bit of a rest, and then you're right back at it. Now, this is always a fun, not a fun part, but a very high-speed, sketchy part of your side-by-side as we're getting ready to go into Indianapolis and Arnage. 2 very interesting parts of the track. Passing zones, yes. Good ones, no. Sketchy, yes. Dangerous, yes. It's really going to be a lot of these parts are on this track. You can pass It's just you have to be bold. You cannot second guess it. You gotta just be like, I'm going to make the moves. You gotta be committed. If you just think a second that you're not going to make the move, that's where you wreck. That's where you and the car around you most likely will wreck, or you'll screw it up. Here, a very, very sketchy part of the track, as I already said, through the first Porsche curve. The other parts of the Porsche curves are not that challenging. They're more high-speed fun. Side by side, though, they can be really sketchy, but really, really fun. This is also where we're going to see the start, obviously, of everything, as Wumbo gets to complete his lap as he goes into the Ford chicane. This can be tough. It can catch you off guard. The curb's nasty. So it's going to be really interesting, especially, do you want to make this a passing zone? You can pass there. You just have to be really, really bold with your passes. So it's going to be really interesting. The race could be won in the in the Ford chicane. So we'll really be keeping an eye on that. We see a couple more people coming around the track. Hendrick has spun, not too good. How about Julian, who won here last time as he slams into the inside wall just off Arnage. Arnage can be very sketchy, very, very sketchy. Logan is the first GTE to set a lap, and he will obviously go second fastest, 19 and a half seconds off the pace. But again, GTEs are just naturally slower than LMP2s. Here's Josh going through Indianapolis now as he gets down all through the brakes. Yeah, you cannot really extend through Indianapolis because there's gravel right there, and then it turns into grass. So not much room to go. However, Arnage, you can extend a tiny bit. Just watch out for the exit. We've already seen it. Wumbo got a little bit of wheel spin. We saw Julian, the guy who won here last year, just completely wreck it and slam into the inside wall. Julian's not had a good start. And again, it takes time to get a lap in, so we could be looking at, people might not get laps in like 2 more minutes if you make a mistake, so you have to be almost perfect. Josh has been very interesting so far, doesn't really look like he's on a push lap, but he could be. We'll see exactly what's happening with Josh as he goes into the Ford chicanes. There's two of them, and it just feels like it gets tighter. And especially here, it's very easy to lock up or miss it entirely. And then you have the sandish gravel right there, ready to catch you if you just extend a little too much. The Dunlop curve, that'll be interesting. Mainly, it should be not really a passing zone, but you can be side by side there. But it sets up for the Dunlop chicane. And then through the S's, it'll be very interesting to see them funnel into the S's again. It also seems to just get tighter, and especially here, this one here can really catch you off guard, and it just did the Josh again. So I don't think there's a guy that hasn't caught out in the LMP2 class yet. Obviously, we haven't seen everyone go through there, but I can almost be certain that it's at least caught out one person. Hendrick has spun again. Not a good deal. However, Hines has not done really anything. Chance, wow, that was pretty bad. 3.5 seconds off Wumbo. Wumbo's lap, as time is looking like it's looking like it's a good lap, and I think he might be on to improve it here if he plays his cards right. So then the question is, how fast can you go? Who's gonna put down the best lap? We don't know. There's a lot of guys that still haven't put down a lap yet. That's the fun part around this track. Wumbo just goes a little wide. He improves it, which means there's time to find on his lap, but still not the best. Again, we haven't seen Julian set a lap yet. We haven't seen Hendrick set a lap yet. Hines is just on a lap. Josh has not set a clean lap yet as he goes through the second chicane down the back. Hines is currently in Daytona, just exiting Daytona as he goes down the second part of the Mulsanne Straight. There's 3 parts of the Mulsanne Straight, and then you go into Mulsanne. So, a lot of build-up there when you look at the corners. I'm trying to scan through and see. Logan is closing on a lap. He's going into the final 4 chicanes. That's the last part of the track. Again, pits also here is a little bit weird. It has its own chicane, so you can be caught out by that if you're not careful. Logan just got caught out by the gravel, but still sets a second faster. Still top of the GTEs, but not. We already know it's not that good of a lap. You're not going to get really that good of a lap in qualifying here because you don't have much time. Unless you've been practicing for hours before this race, which I know none of these guys have, it's really, really tough to learn the track, learn all 38 corners and what you're supposed to do in them in a small time. As Josh goes off, entering Indianapolis and goes head on into the tire barrier. Just not good. Tried to arc it a little too much and ended up being right into the grass and then into the following gravel and then the tire barrier. Josh definitely starting to struggle. Definitely interesting. Here is Hines almost losing it, entering Indianapolis. Jeez, I did say that can catch you off guard if you're not careful. Hines was not careful, and it almost caught him off guard. It almost ended his lap as he goes through Arnage. Not the best, could be better, but at this point you just want to set a lap. Setting a lap could guarantee you a top 3, and you want to kind of start good here because it means you can kind of get away from all the chaos of lap 1 if you can kind of just ride off into the sunset. So, well, if you start in the back, yeah, you might initially avoid it, but then you have to go through it. So how are you going to go through it? As Hines kind of slips and slides as he goes through the first push curve and now into the second and third and fourth. Very interesting so far. It is fun, though, to watch these LMP2s and GTEs really kind of work their way around the track, slipping, sliding on the edge of grip because you're trying to max as much as possible to get your lap in to be potentially the best lap. As now the session is over, so whatever lap you have now, it's going to stand, and Hines a little too wide, extending it too much, and he goes third fastest. Not that good. Does Hendrick have a better lap for him, or will he start behind a GTE? Josh is going to start behind a GTE. He just wrecked. There's a lot of time, again, 300 seconds to get around here that they give you. Hendrick completely cutting that last Ford chicane, and he's going to go third fastest. Not the best, still 3 seconds off. Time to find, and there's a lot of it. Now, all eyes are on Julian, who for some reason has his lights on. Who knows why? We'll see the lights on later, though, in the race. It's actually kind of fun to spin on this show, but whatever. Into Mulsanne, where, again, him and Jake had a great battle here last season. Jake, I'm pretty sure, passed him in the gravel here in Mulsanne, as he now goes back up the speed, up to this little nice, fast kind of portion of the track as you get ready for Indianapolis. This sets up all the speed. You're going very, very fast, and then you come into Indianapolis with all this speed, and you gotta somehow find a way to get rid of it without wrecking. And sometimes people aren't able to get rid of it all, and they just come flying into the corner or get rid of it a little too much at a time. And yes, now through Arnage, where he did wreck it last time, he goes through it pretty fine though. Now going back up the speed. Currently in 5th gear. I wonder if he'll go to 6th. There he goes in the 6th as he gets ready for the Porsche curves. Again, just it's so tough because there's so many corners at this track, you're gonna miss one or two on a lap most likely. You just kind of gotta make the least amount of mistakes. Even just having a clean lap, not even a fast, like having a clean lap could get you a solid result. Dirt currently is top of the charts. I forgot to cover that, but he is. Dirt is on pole as of now, but here comes Julian ending the Porsche curves into the Ford chicane. Is it going to be enough for pole? We'll find out in a quick second. Through the first Ford chicane, good. Second, good. Gravel, not good. He's wrecking. Gets across the line. What's it gonna be? We didn't even really get to see. It is pole. Wow, by a tenth. That was close. Very, very close. There's one GTE in this race. Man, we're gonna have a fun race. It will be fun though between the LMP2s. Maybe not the GTEs. As Julian sits on pole, Dirt will come a close second. Now you gotta figure out what could have been, but you also kind of have to ignore that, because we gotta get into the race. I will look on my Discord and see if I got texted anything else. Because Julian did leave, so I can almost guess that these guys are going to leave too. And we'll get a quick little reset in. As I'm pretty sure we also will have a couple more people join in too with that. Also, Hendrick having his own thing. These guys are just messing around, having fun. Oh man, Logan just killed Hendrick. He's flipping across the line. Hopefully he won't be flipping across the line, but he may be. Hopefully he'll be the first one across the line on the last lap in an hour time. I'm just kind of spinning around right now. Why does it... Splits does nothing. Why is that there? Everyone's leaving the session, so that's what I will do. Alright. Okay, there we go. Now we're not in the thing, so we can actually sit and get ready. Looking at this, there's a lot of obviously LMP2s. No GTEs so far. Obviously Logan and Chance are the two ones, I'm pretty sure. So we'll see what happens. We'll see who gets in what, and then we'll get ready for us. Julian will start on pole for the second annual 1 hour Le Mans. Everything ready. We can let's go and look through the lobby settings. So if you guys really care, there is the lobby settings as Logan joins in. No penalties and rules. That will be not talked about. That'll be how do I say this? That will be figured out in the race. Allow start engine or allow auto start engine. Yes. Default setups. Allow anti-lock brakes. Yes. Allow traction control. Yes. Allow stability control. Yes. So we're ready. Well, I'm almost ready. Actually, I am ready. So I'm ready, but are they? Chance is still joining in. He needs to hop in his GTE. So it's crazy. Two GTEs look, well, two of the three GTEs look the same. So that'll be interesting. I also wonder how they're gonna. I think I have an idea of how they're going to do this and get this set up, but we'll all see. getting a little stretching before the race. You guys should do the same. Get anything you can, because again, you might not want to stand back up for the next hour if you do, or if you don't decide to do what you need to do now. I'll be back. I need to get more water. I just drank all of it in one sip. Okay, I'm back. But on a side note, though, I am happy that I decided to stream this on my channel, not on my YouTube channel, not my Twitch. Watch hours. Anyways, stop talking about side notes and let's go straight in. Because we're getting ready. Everyone's lined up kind of on the grid. And we'll see what all goes down. It will be Julian on pole. He's all the way back here, but he will be on pole. Dirt should be second. Wumbo should be third, I think. And then it would go Hines and then Hendrick. Hendrick, obviously, and Hines not having good laps themselves. And I'm pretty sure Wumbo also could find time on their lap. I think everyone could. As I already said, really tough to hit 38 corners right in only 15 minutes. So it definitely will take time. I think by the end of this race, though, most guys will have the track figured out. That's usually what happens. Is you don't usually understand the track initially, but then by the end of the race, it's like, man, I wish I knew how to drive this for qualifying or whatever for the start of the race. But again, who will be good right off the gate? Because again, if we don't get a safety car, which we probably will get a safety car, but if we don't, it will be all about the start. Again, we'll act like it's all about the start, but it really comes down to that. Baked is here. Chance is here. We have Logan, Hines, Julian, Wumbo, Dirt, Hendrick, and Josh. That is your whole... That's everyone racing for this race. I'm almost sure that we will... We're ready. Is it going to be Josh? Is it going to be Hendrick? Is it going to be someone else? We're ready to go green in Le Mans. Hendrick up the gears nicely. Everyone kind of all getting their things sorted out. It looks like Chance already managed to wreck. Same with Baked, or they're backing off. I think they're just... I don't know what's happening with them. Alright. We're all getting in the starting lineup, actually. It looks like that. It looks like they're getting in the starting lineup. We'll go green anytime soon. Julian goes up to the front. Alright. Pace lap? Okay. My bad. Settings were a bit messed up, and we in the backup. We were adding a GTE driver, and the settings were messed up. We're doing a pace lap. We're getting ready to go racing though. Again, 58 minutes left. We're green now. We'll, as Julian is currently in the lead. He might have to block somewhere. Wumbo has a head of steam. They're all bump drafting. 3 wide. Here comes Joe up the middle. He's got help from Hendrick. Look out. They can Daytona like this. They can't do it, possibly. As they get in, they're all wrecking. Everyone flying into the corner. Every LMP is right. Besides third, who comes through almost unscathed. He was the guy who got turned and all that. And he's the one who benefits the most out of it. Caution is out, though. Hines sits up in the second. And Logan, just being not in the mess, got his way up to third. How about Josh? He was right in the middle of it. Everyone just wrecked as they won Daytona. I said they couldn't make it into Daytona like this, and they didn't. Just a little bit too much pushing happened, and as everyone tried to back off, people were still on people's bumpers. One bad push, and it all goes wrong. We should be going green most likely off the end of the second chicane, so we'll see. No, we're not green yet. Now no. I have no idea what bait is doing. Looks like we're going around 100 right now as we're doing kind of a little... Obviously, we're under safety car for the first time. Who expected this? Everyone. Someone has their lights on back there. I could not tell you who. I think it might be someone like Chance. Bait already left. Could not tell you who had the lights on because they turned them off. We are not green. I thought we were. I'm looking too much at the gas and not at the thing. But now we are. Now we're green as we head in. No, we aren't. Now we are. No, we aren't. Now we are. Alright. We'll wait to hear when exactly we're going green. Someone has their lights on back there. It is Chance has his lights on. Whatever reason. He just felt like it, I guess. Wumbo cutting the track. Looks like they're doing Indianapolis and Onage under caution. So we should be going back green anytime soon. We are close to the start-finish line, so I think that would be the time to go. Looks like we're green, but we could also not be. No. Alright. Hopping at 120. Bait has joined again, but obviously you can't join back. Pits are open, so we should be going green on the back. Everyone is pitting. Couple stragglers in the back, cutting the track to get up. That was Julian. At least the guy that I saw, and I think it was Hendrick too, but Hendrick probably wrecked or something, because, yeah, there he is. Alright. Logan's pit stop is done. No, they're out in field. Hines gets out. It looks like, yeah, he's going to be the leader. Heinz is going to be the latest right now. This safety car has burned off 7 minutes almost. By the time we get going, it will probably be 7 minutes that it's burned off. Alright. Obviously, the S's are under caution right now as we sit under caution still for, well, under safety car side. For still, what happened up in Daytona as everyone was trying to bump draft into a corner that can barely fit 2 cars in it. They were 3 wide bump drafting, so you can almost guess how that happened or how bad that was. Anyways, we're getting ready. We should be going green down the Mulsanne Straight. Heinz is your leader. Logan is out of the race. Uh-oh. Losing people left and right, but we are getting all grouped up and ready to go. Don't know what's happening to Wumbo back there. This whole hour might be under caution at this point. Nope. Looks like we're doing a reset. Did I get a message from Julian? Restarting again, massive lag out. So we are having a couple technical difficulties, it seems like. Return to lobby, yes. But yeah, we are having a couple technical difficulties. Hopefully, we'll be going in a minute. Maybe not actually a minute, but you know what I mean. It is 9:20. We could be 20 minutes into this thing without any issues. However, stuff happens.
Tragic day for Small.
Alright, there we go. I was losing brain cells. Just listening to all that. What was happening all in there. Thank God I can listen to myself talk for an hour, not everyone else. It will be 50 minutes now. Because of we already basically wasted 50 minutes. Well, not 50 minutes. We already basically wasted 10 minutes with the caution. So I'm guessing it's just going to be just from where the caution, from basically what the inevitable restart that we were waiting for. This will be the restart, not obviously a full restart, like doing the whole thing again. Which makes sense. Obviously, I wouldn't say we're running under the time limit, but you know, people have bedtimes sometimes, and some people would like to get to bed before 11 o'clock. So, just for those reasons, that's what's happening. A lot of trials and tribulations already. Hopefully, though, but when we do get to go green, we will be actually going green and not just, well, sitting around. If that makes complete sense. Which it should. It should. Wumbo, Josh, oh. Looks like we're doing it again. I think we're doing it again. Yeah, we are. I'm just gonna stay in this lobby for a bit. Because, I don't want to hear the party. Actually, I'm just gonna leave that party. In a second. I'm gonna leave it and then rejoin it later. When, you know, we can... Yeah. Alright. We have a game plan figured out. I'm also going to have my own little break, too, if that makes sense. I'm going to have a tiny, break, because I need to get water, because, you know, water is essential. I've drank so much water already, it's insane, but, hey, I'm either gonna die of drinking too much water, or we're gonna get this race in, so... One of those two things is going to happen. Hopefully the second one, but the first one's possible. So, I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Hopefully I'll have an invite so we can just like hop right in and be good. So, yeah. I'm back with my, I think this is my fourth bottle of, cup of water. So, we're closing in on the magic number to have something bad happen to me. So, maybe if we sit here for an hour before the race, like maybe if we delay this race like another hour, just by like doing all this stuff, maybe, just maybe, we will hit that second. No, maybe we'll hit that first now before the second. So, yeah. Surprisingly, I'm going to water like freaking nothing today. It is almost 9:30. It is so. Uh, well, it's so past time, but we're fine. We're still here. Everyone racing and me are still here, and I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy, and you guys are tough. For hopefully stay. But if you're still here, staying here through this half an hour of stuff. I only thought this race would take an hour and a half in total, but hey, we might be streaming for longer, which also means more watch hours for me. Bang. Well, great. Alright, we'll join back in a second. I have like 7 invites, so I'm not too worried. I even have a new one. Waiting, spectate. We might miss the start, the restart, but who cares? Not me. As long as we watch most of this race, 45 minutes of this race, I'll be happy. With how this is going, we honestly might end in the nighttime. Not even in the daytime. In the nighttime we might end. Unless obviously Julian update will change the X, but I don't think he did for the time progression, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Well, these are all questions being answered. Also, one thing that I find cool about this track, look at that tower. That's one iconic thing about this track, I feel like. The Michelin Tower. That's what I'm calling it. The Michelin Tower. Hendrick's having his own whatever the hell you call it. What the hell is happening there? Okay. Ah. Do I have more invites? Yes, I have 5 of them still locked and loaded. Just keep lagging out, so. Man, I forgot that was spelled choice for a second. This race has aged friggin' years on me. It's also about to friggin' make me friggin' have some sort of issue. Probably gonna drink too much water by the end of this race. You know the fun thing though about all this? What the hell? You know the fun thing about all this though? It's that this is all gonna be on stream. So if I somehow die today, or get like hurt or something, it's gonna be on stream. If somebody virtually dies in this race, it'll be on stream. If I like it again, it'll be on stream. Sorry for not like commentating. I just don't want to waste my voice if it's gonna lag out again. So we'll see. I'm just letting it do its thing and letting it run its course, and then like I don't know. We'll start commentating through Mulsanne, or if there's a Dirt and Heinz battle, then we'll commentate through Daytona or something. But yeah, this track very long. It's crazy because Mulsanne is on the other side of the track from the start finish line, but it doesn't feel like that because it feels like the whole like third sector part of the track is long because it is. I think we might be good. Anyways, Heinz and Dirt side by side for the lead. Let's go on the roof cam with Dirt. Now let's see. Let's go back to the track side. Side by side, almost even as they're getting ready. We'll try to be a nice little side draft, maybe a interesting technique, but they're almost even, almost contact. Dirt pulls ahead as they go through the twists and turns of the second chicane. Heinz got a little too much on the curb, sent him offline. He's going to have to potentially use the draft to pull him along, maybe side by side as we go on the Mulsanne, and don't look too far back. Here comes Wumbo, not too far out of the mix. Heinz all over the gearbox, all over the rear wing of Dirt as he goes to the outside in Mulsanne. Dirt kind of messes up Mulsanne, and here comes Heinz. Not enough though. Dirt was able to fend off now through the twists and turns, the high speed part of the track now. High speed and a lot of turns. That's what it is, but a lot of greenery too. Not much room for error as they go all through. We're going about 180, 185 as we head all the speed into Indianapolis. A little bit of a slide from Dirt as now he misses Indianapolis completely. They're going to be side by side into Arnage. Contact, Dirt forces him off. It looks like he just got hooked. Now, will Heinz try to switch back at Arnage? He will. And look at that. He's side by side. Now, to the push curves. That's up next. What's going to happen? Very, very, very interesting if they decide to go side by side to the push curves, and they're just bleeding time to Wumbo. Just more and more by the second. Dirt back set now trying to switch back to the first push curve. Does he do it? No. But now he's all over the rear wing, all over the rear gearbox of Heinz. Does he try anything through the rest of the push curves? No, he clipped the grass. 5 people watching as now we're getting ready to complete the second actual lap of green flag racing. Heinz has gotten a little bit of gap to the into the Ford chicanes. Dirt using a lot of track, using a little too much track. Heinz cuts it there, but here comes Dirt all over the gearbox as they complete lap 2 and head on to lap 3. Wumbo not too far behind. He had a faster lap than both of them that time by a sizable margin, about a half a second to a second. Julian in the pits, not having the day he would have wanted, side by side as they almost touch into the in the middle of the Dunlop chicane. Now into the S's. Very, very interesting part. Can be passes here, yes, but it's mainly just single file, and you wait for your competitor to make a mistake, which is exactly what Dirt did, and he clipped the wall with it. Just a bad spot to hit it, and now he's going to be under pressure from Wumbo as they go through the Mulsanne straight. He does not have the speed that Wumbo does, as he's fully up to speed. Now they are both pretty much up to speed. However, Wumbo, the damage is already done. Wumbo's past him, and now he sets his sights on high to the second half up the road, but Dirt not ready to give it up yet. He's bump drafting. This is how we saw the first safety car in the race. Dirt backs off earlier though, being respectful into Daytona. Don't want to send it too hard into Daytona. Dirt cuts it though. Here comes Dirt again. Does he try to push again and work back up? It's doing a little bit. They gained a lot of time that time by. Caution is out. Safety car is out. It looks like Julian is now behind Logan. Update on the water situation that I have. I have about... I don't have much left in my water. This is, mind you, this is my 4th cup of water for people just tuning in. Someone's gonna die today. I think I have a good idea of who it's gonna be. Jeez, you cannot inhale water. That's something you can definitely not do. I'm gonna have to take a little break because I'm getting ready for my 5th bottle, well, 5th cup of water. Oh man, it's gonna be fun. Update on the Hendrick situation. Did he get it figured out? Yes. Did he lose time? Yes. He's in the Porsche, the Porsche curves. Well, everyone's heading in to Mulsanne. So, how will that happen? How will that get figured out? We don't know. I think we'll be getting ready to go back green on at Mulsanne. So, everyone's gonna be repairing their damage and all that stuff. And we'll see. We'll really kind of get back at it. Well, I'm gonna go take a small bite to get my to get more water. Well, I wait. Well, we wait, and you guys can do the same. Take a little water bite. Take a little snack bite. You won't miss anything. And if you do, it will be on stream that you can always tune back to. However, there will be no commentary unless I come back in the next 1 minute. So. Well, in the next minute, which I won't be. I'll take a more longer, sizable break, knowing we still have a little ways until we go into the pits. Alright, I'm back. I'm back. Yeah. Now, I think there might be a small issue with me because let's just say I've had a little too much water to the point where it's not tasting right anymore. It's starting to taste a little funny. Uh, will I be fine? Maybe. Heinz is gonna lead everyone into the pits, so we'll get right back at it again. I'm going to see what kind of food do I have. I have some Jolly Ranchers. I have some chips. I think that's kind of what we're working with right now. That's really what we're working with. Logan is obviously having the first pit box, from what I know. But he's immediately going to get beat out by Wumbo, who will assume the lead. Wumbo was in... I forgot. Wumbo was in... Drumroll, please. He was in second. Yes, he was in second. So, now, with everything getting sorted out, he is the race leader. Looks like he either didn't take tires or didn't take fuel. One of the two. Or both. Julian's gonna... Looks like he's gonna beat out... Yeah, he will. He will beat out... Bait. Somehow, some way, Julian has managed to find his way into second place. Second place. This man was running in fifth behind a GTE just not too long ago, and now he sits in second. Just pure, just crazy how stuff can change. But again, all it takes is one pit stop, one wreck to bring you back into this. And that's what it is doing right now with Julian and potentially other people. Hendrick has been nowhere this race because of, obviously, a bunch of stuff. He might get back up. I think he will. But yeah. Which also means they're going 30 right now. As they try to obviously figure stuff out and get stuff sorted out. But they also have to remember, at least from what I know, we should be going sometime during the Mulsanne Straight. Sometime, again, we don't know when. Dirt and Hendrick are not up here. Here's Hendrick's little screen time as he cuts the S's. Oh, man, that got close. He almost hit that wall there. Oh, man. He got stopped in time, though, before he got out of control. Oh, no, I'm just doing some random stuff. Alright. Dirt is still in the pits, having a lot of repair time, but now he's coming out. So, he will be last of the LMPs. It looks like what they're doing is getting the LMPs ahead of the GTEs. Obviously, that makes sense. You don't want a slower car to just be ahead, because that kind of is unfair in a way. So right now, Bait is the leader of the GTEs. We haven't talked about them much, but Bait, Chance, and Logan, that is the race between the GTEs. However, it's not over yet, and neither is it over for the LMPs. The LMPs will be covering this all race. Well, again, we still have, 30 minutes left or so? There's going to be a lot of time to cover all of this, to cover everything. as will Green. We're underway. Hendrick is now the leader after being last. He's up to the lead now. Almost going 180 into the second chicane. Side by side, making contact behind is Hines and Julian. More contact. That's going to send Hines to go off track a tiny bit. A little bit of off-roading. Hit the bollard there. But is back into second. Julian back down in the third. But don't count him out yet. Wumbo sits in fourth. He was the leader. Now sits in fourth. But also, don't count him out. Duke did not catch back up in time. Oh well, that will be something else. What a pass though in the Mulsanne. Hendrick missed the corner though, and that allowed Julian to get right back to Hines. Hines made a pass on the outside of Mulsanne, and Hendrick just missed a little bit, got into the back of him. And that's gonna allow Julian to be right there. Now potentially Hines could have some rear end damage. That's not gonna be nice coming into this section here of Indianapolis and Arnage. Side by side also will not do too well through and up into Indianapolis. They all get it nice and sorted out though, giving each other space and nice and respectful. Now how are they gonna do into Arnage? Not much room into Arnage. And not much room in Arnage. Contact, more of it. Julian, wow, saved it. What a save. But now, Hines with that contact has now gotten himself back to the lead. Here comes Hendrick up in the second. Wumbo just kind of sitting, biding his time, knowing there's 30 minutes left in this race. Don't want to do anything you'll regret, knowing there might not be a safety car for the rest of this race. However, with how these guys are racing, there might be. Hendrick going almost a little off-road on the first part of the Porsche curves. He has Julian all over his gearbox, though. No room for error. As Hines starts to run away, Hendrick made a mistake, cuts the corner, and that's not going to be too friendly with the race control, but he did lose time, so maybe that's an argument. Julian definitely did not get helped from that at all. He's gonna get a little bump from Wumbo. They get that sorted out though. Hendricks got them by about a second, but just a second and a half ahead is Hines, and now make that 2 seconds as Hendrick dipped a tire in the gravel. That's going to be enough. Hines starting to run away. Hines was supposed to be in a GTE, but decided he wanted to be in an LMP, and look where he is now, the leader. What a decision by him. And Hendrick, I wouldn't count him out though. A lot of mistakes, a very mistake-prone race for him, but he is starting to work his way up. He still needs to learn the track, it looks like though, making a couple mistakes here and there. He has now Julian all over him. Wumbo made a mistake, went a little wide. That's going to get him some damage that he's going to have to deal with until the next pit stop. Julian, if there's going to be anyone to run down Hines, it will probably be Julian. But it's going to also be, it's going to be a question of, can he? And maybe if he can, who else? It looks like they're getting sorted out. They're definitely gaining a lot of time on Hines. They gained about a couple tenths there, about 5 tenths or so. Hendrick now sending it through Daytona. He's going to gain a decent amount of time, get that gap under a second just for a bit, as it's now going to extend over a second. But Hendrick's hanging around that second mark. He did gain time there. He found time on his best lap, which obviously would make sense. Julian behind him. Julian did gain time of his own. Not as much as Hendrick though. Hendrick, can he find any more time through the second chicane? Yes, he goes wide though, making a mistake. And that's not going to help. He's not going to have much momentum. He did gain time initially, but now he's going to lose all the time back. As you see it kind of happening, now he's going to gain some time back. So don't know how that really was, but in the Mulsanne now, Hendrick's going to have a head of steam. He's got to get slowed down. Mulsanne can catch you off guard if you're not careful. Hendrick getting a good arc from Mulsanne. Hines went wide. Oh, Hendrick almost became the new race leader. Hines came back on track, though. Very sketchy for Hendrick to make that move, so he decided not to. Now Julian's up in the mix. Wumbo, he did not have too good of a section, and that's put him 3 seconds back. Dirt has now made his way past the GTEs. Crash! Huge one! It's Hines! Oh, man. He is destroyed. There was no front and rear end of the car. Just, yeah, just not good. We cut away for 1 second, and we cut back, and there's a huge, huge wreck. Time for some water. But Julian is the new race leader. I wanted to cover the GTE battle because Logan had just put himself into the lead of GTEs. Bait is in second and Chance in third for the GTEs. Again, we'll keep an eye on that as the sun starts to set in on this race. 26 minutes left. 26 and a half minutes left. 26 and 20 seconds. So, yeah. Well, we're getting there. You know it's bad when your water tastes like lead because you drank it so much. Anyways. I need to drink something else. Or eat something. That's a decision I'll make later. I've not sat down in 5 minutes, so I should probably do that. I wonder if we're gonna open pits. Most likely, yeah, I think we will. Okay, that's not even a wonder. That's yes, we will open pits. I wonder if they're also gonna speed up the pace though, because going 30 miles per hour is probably not the best. Number 43 is in the lead. That is piloted by Julian, the winner here last year. And are we ready to see some racing? Yes, we are. That question was already answered. As we can kind of see the shades start to set in, we can kind of see just the lighting start to get more kind of bright in a way. Which means the sun is setting, which also means we are gonna see some nighttime action. Honestly, with how the time progression is, we might see it by the end of this lap. Julian stays out. I don't hit the column. Track position is key in this race. You don't want to be caught up in other people's mess. Track position can be key. Getting out that gap can be good. Again, the pole sitter back up front. He's pretty much won everything about this race. And it's running. He won here last season. He won the pole for this race. Now he's leading. What else is he going to do besides win the race? I don't know. Maybe he leads from here on out. That's the only thing I can think of. However, that will be a challenge because it's not all gonna be smooth sailing for the next 23 and a half minutes. It's not going to be. We already know this. We've seen the first half of this race. We know it's not going to be smooth sailing. People, you're going to face adversity once in this race. It's just how do you face it? Well, it's how do you conquer it? How do you make sure to go through that and capitalize on it? Potentially find a way around it and get yourself in the position to win. Again, we've already seen so much stuff happen. There's been, I think everyone in this race, at least everyone in the LMP2s have faced some sort of adversity, and we still have 22 minutes left. If we get green flag racing, 22 minutes is a decent while. I know when you think of in like a whole hour, 22 minutes doesn't seem much, but you also have to realize 22 minutes, that is kind of long. So we'll see. We'll get that figured out as Hines after fixing all his damage. Should be coming out of the pits any minute. He is coming out of his box now. Now he's got to make the slow trip at 37 miles per hour down the pit lane as the lights start to come on for everyone and the track. No necessarily fireworks here. Well, no fireworks here, unfortunately, but we get to see some night action, and we might see some fireworks. Not the fireworks you're thinking of, more the fireworks that usually don't end good, but we'll see. Everyone else's lights are on besides Julian's. Otherwise, I think they're broken. That's the only thing that would make me understand that. I drink so much water, I might have to go pee before the end of the race. Hopefully get another safety car, which we probably will. But yeah. I don't think we got a full green flag lap in, and if we have, it was a while ago. We've only completed 5 laps, we're on lap 6 now, as we go through Daytona under caution, under safety car, but we should be going green any minute. I could almost expect we're going green now. There we go. You can see on the telemetry Julian go full throttle as he goes up to the gears, getting more and more speed. Now, as everyone else behind him, now in the draft, gets more and more speed. They're 3 wide. This probably isn't going to work. They got to get it sorted out. Hendrick leads again, potentially. Oh, he wrecked himself. Oh, no. He goes wrecking. A couple cars go head on into the wall. Is that going to put us under caution again? Oh, more contact. Dirt's around. So is, I think, Hines. They're still wrecking, flipping behind. Chance is the leader of the race. Wumpo is the first guy in the LMP2 class. But all the chaos has ensued. And now we're under caution again. Just under 20 minutes left in this race. Man, it's been stop and go a lot. You gotta kind of hate it, but at least we get some action in. We're getting a lot of wrecks, but that's what happens sometimes. People get a little too over-aggressive. Wrecks happen. Wreckfests do happen. So we'll see what exactly happens throughout these next 19 and a half minutes. But okay. I'm gonna take a small break again, and we'll see. I might have to get more water, so cup number 6 is Alright, I'm back. I had to help my mom with something, then I also had to go to the washroom. I also had, well, bathroom, sorry, for you Americans. Then I also had to get my sixth cup of water. I'm pretty sure it's like my third, just alone in this race. Maybe my fourth in this race. So, yeah. However, Hines has retaken the lead in that 35 black and pink LMP2. He has one boat behind him. Chance is trying to, well, Julian's trying to pass Chance, and looks like, again, dirt not up. Because, you know, that's what happens sometimes. I need to have some chips, otherwise I'm just gonna, like, something's gonna happen. Hendrick has disconnected. Oh, man. That's all I can say. That's all I'm gonna say. Alright. My bag of chips is opened and ready. I think we're ready. Are the drivers ready? We'll find out. I know the fans are ready. They've been waiting so long. I think that was Logan flashing his lights. We have 3 people watching. W. I wonder if they're gonna wait till the end of, well, till after Daytona to go, or not. One of the things about this track that's unique, no, it's not that it has 38 corners, but that is a unique thing. But it's the fact that other big tracks like Daytona and Indianapolis are all named as corners here, or as parts of the track here. That's one thing I found unique about this track. When I was watching Le Mans, and when I'm watching this race and looking at the things, at the map. Okay, we should be ready to go green. Any moment. We have 12 minutes left in the session. We might spend the whole night time under caution. Well, under safety car. I keep saying caution, man. I'm so Nascar boy right now. Surprised I haven't said bumper yet. Thank God I haven't. .5 minutes to go. Hines weaving, getting ready. Weaving a little bit faster. Now going up to 50. Might get 55. Now getting up to 60. Now he slams the throttle. But no, green. So now at around 70 into the second chicane. Close, but no cigar. I think there we go, we're green. Finally we get to see some green flag racing. Hopefully, it stays for longer than 2 corners. 3 wide, almost blocking, trying not to allow that to happen. Side by side in the Mulsanne, a little bit of contact further in the back, but they got that sorted out. Wumbo now takes the lead from Hines. Hines will walk that back. Here comes Julian. And don't look too far back. Dirt has been repairing damage for what seems like 90% of this race. But here he is. Wumbo pulls basically almost off track. Now as Hines through Indianapolis now. Everyone kind of smooth through there. A couple people maybe missed the corner, but besides that was fine. How about a dive into Arnage from Julian? Further in the back, though, Wumbo having his own issues. He completely missed Arnage. And Dirt had a solid corner. All about evenly spread through the top 4. Then behind them, Chance leads the GTEs. A little bit of slip there from Julian. Just sent it a little too hard into the first Porsche curve and just slid it a little bit. Under 10 minutes to go now, under 9 minutes to go. As Hines gets ready to go full speed into the Ford chicanes. One, now 2. Here comes Julian. Don't hit the gravel there. That can be tricky. There we go. Lap completed. Now through the Dunlop chicane now. Contact between Hines and Julian. Here comes Dirt and Wumbo in the mix, but they got that sorted out, and now Hines still sits in the lead through the S's. No look yet from Julian. Just kind of waiting in line, waiting for potentially Daytona. Went a little too wide there. A little bit more gap. But now he's going to have the draft all the way down the Mulsanne straight into Daytona. Don't count out Dirt and Wumbo from this. Yeah, here comes 2.5 tenths. Now down to 2 tenths. Now down to 1.5. Now almost down to 1 as they get into Daytona. Julian broke a little earlier, not trying to dive bomb it. As now he gets ready for the next Mulsanne straight. This one, it's a little bit shorter than the other one, but we get ready into the second chicane. This will where we could potentially see a pass. If not, we'll see it in Mulsanne. He peeks out, but settles back in. He's going potentially on the outside. He does. Later on the brakes, but no avail. Hines fends it off, and now Julian in the further issues. He, I think, wrecked. Julian did have an issue there. Don't know if he fully wrecked or just spun or whatever. But now Hines has a second lead over Wumbo through Mulsanne pretty nicely. Wumbo kind of missed Mulsanne a bit as the sun starts to rise. We should have about 2 more laps in us before we end this off, obviously, with the checker flag. 2.5 gap heading into Indianapolis. Oh, he kind of messed up Indianapolis as he goes into Arnage. How about anyone else? Wumbo, he gained a tiny bit of time through Indianapolis. How about Arnage? Dirt used a little bit of track there, cut the corner, it looks like a bit. No gain, though, from Wumbo in Arnage. However, after Arnage, he did gain. He gained about 2/10 there, down to the Porsche curves. Just hanging around that 1.2, 1.3 range. Gets it down to 1.1. Will he get it under a second through the final bit of the Porsche curves? No. But now into the Ford chicane. He should potentially get it under 1 second here if he did it right. He does, but extends back out. Oh, Hines goes wide though. Here comes Wumbo. Head of steam. 2/10, 1/10, 1.5. He's there. Trying to make a move in Dunlop. Now he goes into the chicane. No real move there. Now Hines goes a little wide on the exit. And it's the top three all dueling it out. Don't look too far back. Julian is gaining ahead of steam. Oh, Hines made a mistake, leaving the door wide open for Wumbo to take the lead. As they go down the Mulsanne straight. Sun rising even more. Everyone waking up in France. Waking up to see this legendary battle. Lights are off. That means the race is close to end. No, it's gonna be close to ending. We should get about a lap and a half more of racing. Rosso leads, snaking down the Mulsanne straight. Here comes Hines with a lot of draft. Will he be able to make a move into the second chicane? No, he doesn't. He sits in line, maybe waiting for Mulsanne. Maybe that's a better spot to make a move. Got a little bit of a run there. Now as they go down the straightaway with more draft. No move in the Mulsanne. How about the exit though? Still right on his gearbox, right hounding him. Ready, almost under his rear wing. Now he peeks to the inside. Again, a very treacherous spot. Only 2 lanes. You can easily go off. They both kind of got in the grass there. Hines got in more than Wumbo. Now Wumbo's going to get clear as they head up into Indianapolis. Full speed ahead, full steam ahead, 180 almost into Indianapolis. A little bit of wiggle from Wumbo and Hines, but they both get through. Wumbo kind of missed Indianapolis, but here they go. Arnage is up next. Oh, Wumbo completely missed Arnage. Here comes Hines. He has a run. Will he do it? Yes. He's side by side. Can he make the move complete though? Almost even. Don't get in the grass. You don't want to do that. You can lose all your momentum. Look out. Here comes the Porsche curves. Who's going to be brave enough to stick it up the inside? Wumbo gets a little bit too much in the grass, and that's going to be the end of his run. There at the lead for now. Now Hines gets into the lead through the Porsche curves, but now we have to focus on the Ford chicanes. Where will there be a move there? Probably not, but we can expect a whole lot of time gained and potentially a move in the Dunlop. 5/10 the gap, entering the Ford chicanes. 4/10 now, 6/10, 5/10, 3/10. He's gaining. He's there. Now draft, bringing him under 3/10. Again, they're just finding time. This track is getting faster. These people are getting faster. And look at that. Here is Julian right up in the mix. No move in the Dunlop, but Julian, he's already made a move. He's coming up, cutting the corner a tiny bit through the S's. As he goes into the S's. Hines still has the lead, but they're just losing time. But they lose time battling. They lose time anywhere. Here comes Julian, the winner from last year, ready to make a move. Wumbo sees that, forces a move as they head down the Mulsanne straight. Will Hines be able to fight back? Will Julian come back and steal all of it? He's gonna go up the middle. Julian, 3 wide middle, with his lights still on, powering by the other two as they fight and try to pull each other back. Julian's already long gone, but they're fighting back. 3 wide, potentially Daytona, that won't work, but the side by side, that will. Battle behind between Wumbo and Hines. Here comes Dirt up in the mix. Oh, crash! Hines and Wumbo have collided, and now the seas have parted for Julian and Dirt to fight for the win. Time remaining is 0. The time is up, and now once the completion of the lap happens, that's gonna be your winner. That's who's gonna be the winner. If you can get back to the line first between these guys. We'll go back to the GTE battle in a second, but Dirt makes a huge mistake, goes a little too wide through the gravel, but he gained time. Now he's going to lose a bit of it. With Draft, though, will he try to move into Mulsanne? We know Dirt. We know how aggressive he can be at times. Will he try to potentially do something that could get him the win, or could bring Wumbo back in the picture? Hines is most likely out of this, most likely ruled out. Will he try to move in the Mulsanne? Julian goes defensive and he goes off. He's got wrecked. Dude, the seas have parted, and here comes Wumbo. It's not over yet. Time is of the essence. They are into the last sector almost of racing. Will Dirt make any mistakes in the potentially Indianapolis or Orange? Those are the 2 next corners. Dirt completely moved Julian. Wonder how that's gonna go down. Oh, Dirt did not have that good of an entry into Indianapolis. How about Wumbo? You gotta leave everything on the table. He gave it there. And that was what, a second he almost gained. He has gained a second through the section. Just a lot more aggressive in the Indianapolis and Arnage, putting the gap down to less than 2 seconds. Again, time winding down. The track winding down. Miles winding down. Everything winding down. So is the track. We're getting ready into the push curves. Oh, Dirt had a little wiggle there. Does Wumbo have the same? No, but gap even. Now through the rest of the Porsche curves, nothing really happening. Dirt wiggling more. Now Wumbo trying to pick a part of the gap. Maybe will he do something into the 4 chicanes? Dirt went a little bit. Just a little bit in the grass. Now, is there anything left in the tank for Wumbo, or is it all gonna be Dirt? Will anyone let Dirt win? Yes, they will. Wumbo, it's not enough. Dirt is gonna win in Lamar. Now Logan, almost uncontested. 8 seconds is the gap between him and Chance. Bate is too far behind. His hopes are baked. Now Logan going past the wounded Julian Carr, which is heavily wounded. Jeez, he's missing a light on it. But the light's still on for Julian. However, the hopes are not on. But one guy that the hopes are still on for is this man. Logan has driven a carefree race, has been almost picture perfect, avoiding all the chaos from his other 2 competitors. He is going to win the GTE race at Lamar. But LMP2 goes to Dirt as he is celebrating with Hines, or doing whatever he's doing with Hines. I don't think we can show that on camera. Congratulations to Logan and Dirt, though. They are the 2 winners from Lamar. And now we just wait for the finishers. Bate is coming into the 4 chicanes for the final time in this 11 GTE. You gotta think what could have been. You know, a little bit of slip there, just on the edge, doing as much as he can, and he's gonna full cut the corner and end off his lap. There, that is, you can look at the results in a second when they show. This is the results. This, if I click What button? It's not showing. Oh, this is the LMP2 race. You have the position on whether they finished. You have the class, obviously, and whether they finished in the class. The GTEs. Bate was there, but obviously he's not there anymore. He left, I'm guessing. But Logan is your GTE winner. LMP2 winner, though, goes to dirt. Overall winner goes to dirt. A little bit dirty, but his name is Dirt after all. We almost could expect that happen. So, are we surprised? No. Are we disappointed? Yes. Could have been a great race, but it wasn't. Well, it was a great race. Could have been a great finish, is what I meant to say. Could have been a great finish, but just was not on the table. Alright. Alright, 4 people watching, but I will end it off here. I'm not going to do any interviews. I don't really have other stuff to do. I would, but this race did run a little bit longer than I expected. But thank you guys for sticking around. We still had 4 people watch. I don't know, we still do. But do all this. So I would like to thank all you guys. You guys have done a great job in supporting this whole event. It was a very fun event. Obviously, we saw most of it under caution, under safety car, but it was great that we got to see those last 6 or so minutes under green flag racing. We got to see nice, hard racing, a little bit dirty, but in the end, I guess the saying is, rubbing is racing. Maybe not Lamar, but in these guys' heads, that's what it's saying. So, drivers may be mad after this race, but eventually you'll get over it and focus on next year. Focus on the next event coming. Do I know what it is? Hell no, I don't. But this was a blast. I would love to do more of these if possible. But I'd like to thank you guys all for watching. We'll see you guys sometime again. For the people that are watching from well, everyone's watching from my YouTube channel, but for the people watching that care about my YouTube channel, I'm working on a video that hopefully will be posted by the end of the week. Until then, it'll be a bunch of shorts hopefully posted. But yeah, that's the hope there. We hit 40 subscribers. That was amazing. So hopefully we will hit more. Hopefully we'll get to 50 sometime by the end of July. Hopefully that. But for the people not obviously caring much about my YouTube channel, more caring about the event itself, that should be going on next year around this time. Though it was a pleasure to have you guys' having you guys watch and that I will be excited to do more of these events. I've commentated the last 2, and I think I might commentate more. However, we'll see again, obviously, what lines up with my schedule, what lines up. Again, just stay tuned. Sometime in the next month or so, we might have another event coming. I don't know. I'll have to ask Julian about that. So, thank you guys, though, for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Love you guys. Bye.